And I think the third element, which again was very quietly said, was actually this development on, if you like, China's new, what I call it, the super monetary highway. This new currency and other that they're starting. Of course, your friends in the gold world will already know about it, but China quietly has made the yuan gold tradable. It can be transferred. It is tradable into gold on the Shanghai money exchanges. But what they're also doing is setting up a whole series of, if you like, vaults for gold storage. One is already in Hong Kong. Another one is being planned and is under construction in Saudi Arabia. And others are planned elsewhere, so that if you choose or have gold, you can trade it on Shanghai, but take delivery in Hong Kong or somewhere else. This is going to be huge. I mean, and what's more, Lavrov a few weeks ago just said, again, quietly, no razzmatazz, no great announcement. He said, we're going to extend the technology. This is the bridge technology. Originally, it was run by the BIS, the Bank for International Settlements. And that was an experiment. They called it M-Bridge. But then eventually the BIS said, oh, we can't do this because, you know, who knows, it might be used for evading sanctions. And that's after 4 years of running this thing. It was Chinese technology, so the Chinese have revamped it and put it into a new form, and it is now called the renminbi settlement process. But it's also called bridge for short. But this is going to be rolled out now to effectively the BRICS, the SCO, the Belt, Road and Belt Initiative, the East Asian Economic Community. We're talking about 80% of the world's population. No, very quietly done, no great noise. These were some of the decisions, the events taking place behind the scenes that we are not being told about. But it's preparation for escalation, essentially. And that is what was going on quietly.
You just heard Alastair Crooke, former British intelligence officer, diplomat, and one of the most insightful analysts of global finance, expose a quiet but world-changing development. China has quietly made the yuan gold tradable and is building a global gold settlement network that could bypass the US dollar forever. And that's not all. They've taken Western financial technology, improved it, and are now rolling it out across BRICS, the Belt and Road Initiative, and the Global South. All without fanfare, all without headlines, and all while the West remains distracted. Let's unpack what Crooke said and why this could mark the beginning of the end of dollar dominance. Crooke begins with a fact most Western media ignores. China has quietly made the yuan gold tradable on the Shanghai Gold Exchange. That's not just a technical update. That's strategic warfare. Because now, anyone holding yuan can exchange it directly for physical gold without going through Wall Street, the Fed, or the IMF. And that changes everything. Because for the first time since 1971, when Nixon ended the gold standard, a major currency is now backed by real, physical gold. Not promises, not debt, not trust, but gold. And China isn't hiding it. They're building the infrastructure to make it global. Crooke reveals something even bigger. China is building a global network of gold vaults, one in Hong Kong, another under construction in Saudi Arabia, and more planned across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Why? So that if you trade gold in Shanghai, you can take physical delivery in Riyadh, Dubai, or Buenos Aires. That's not logistics. That's a new financial highway, one that bypasses New York, London, and Swift. And it's not theoretical. It's already being built, and it's designed for one purpose: to allow nations to trade in gold-backed yuan outside the U.S. financial system. No dollar, no sanctions, no intermediaries, just direct, sovereign exchange. And the countries that need this the most: Russia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, India, Turkey, and the rest of the global south, all of whom are already moving away from the dollar. Now, they'll have a real alternative. Then Crook drops a bombshell. The technology behind this isn't new. It was originally developed by the Bank for International Settlements, BAS, the central bank of central banks. It was called Project Bridge, an experiment in digital currency settlement. But after 4 years, the BIS pulled out, saying, "We can't support this. It might help countries evade sanctions." And that's when China stepped in. They took the tech, improved it, rebranded it, and now it's called the RAM settlement process, or simply the bridge. And it's not just for digital yuan. It's for multi-currency, cross-border trade between BRICS nations, Belt and Road countries, and sanctioned economies. And the kicker? Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, quietly confirmed it's being expanded with no fanfare. No press conference, no headlines, just a quiet, unstoppable rollout. Crooke makes a critical point. This isn't just about trade. It's about preparation for escalation. Because what happens when the U.S. tries to sanction Iran, freeze Russian assets, cut off a BRICS nation from SWIFT? Now they won't care, because they'll have a gold-backed currency, a secure settlement system, a global vault network, and no dependence on the dollar. That's not just financial independence. That's sovereign immunity. And it means the U.S. loses its primary weapon of control, the dollar. No longer can Washington say, "Do what we say, or you're cut off." Because now there's a way around it. And it's growing quietly but fast. Crooke ends with a staggering fact. This new system will cover BRICS, the Belt and Road Initiative, and the East Asian Economic Community, representing about 80% of the world's population. That's not a rival system. That's the new global economy. And it's being built without the West. No IMF, no World Bank, no SWIFT, just sovereign nations trading in gold, energy, and digital currencies, outside U.S. control. And most shocking part? It's already happening. No great announcements, no media blitz, just quiet, deliberate, irreversible change. In conclusion, Alastair Crooke gives us a rare and unfiltered look at the real forces shaping the future of global finance. Not inflation, not interest rates, not stock markets, but a silent revolution where China, Russia, and the global South are building a new financial world, one that doesn't need the dollar, the Fed, or Wall Street. And when it's complete, the U.S. won't be able to stop it, because you can't sanction a system you're not part of. Stay tuned for more analysis right here on The Informed Perspective. Until next time, stay informed and think critically.
And if the Russians give the Ukrainians an opportunity, the Ukrainians will knock their teeth in. It's a deadly war. The Ukrainians have shown themselves to be very adept, battle-worthy opponents. But, heroism alone doesn't win the day. You need numbers, you need logistics, you need, command and control, you need all the things that the Ukrainians don't have. So the Russians, are winning. Then in the air, it's not even a contest. Ukraine lacks the ability to provide concerted air defense over strategic targets, important targets, and Russia is able to just pick them off at will. And you combine these two factors, and it's just it spells doom for Ukraine. What's going to happen? Nothing. I mean, I what is Europe going to do? The Europeans just acknowledge they can't put troops into Ukraine. They don't have any troops to put into Ukraine. And if they did have troops to put into Ukraine, they can't support them logistically. It's just a pipe dream. Europe can't do anything without America backing them up, and America's not going to back them up. Not on this. So I think what you're going to see a lot of gnashing of the teeth, a lot of pulling of the hair, a lot of bold statements made by, politicians who, better take a look in their rearview mirror because their political base is crumbling in each one of their respective countries. I don't see Macron, Starmer, or Merz lasting much longer. The German economy is in free fall. Great Britain's on the verge of open revolt, and France isn't much better. And these are the people that are supposed to rally and somehow build a viable European army. We know they don't have a European army. That's why um, I think von der Leyen said in a recent speech that the Ukrainian army is the first genuine European army. Really? Because we trained them, we equipped them, and now we have to know how to use them properly. Gosh, I mean, how would you feel to be a Ukrainian knowing that you're dying for some European dream and it's not about Ukrainian sovereignty, it's not about Ukrainian independence or, Ukrainian democracy or anything about Ukraine at all. You're simply a tool built by the Europeans that the Europeans will use and abuse to suit the interests of Europe, not Ukraine.